Yeah! Alright, let's see how the audio is working right now, folks. Also, I apologize if that whole yeah was a little weird. Alright, let's see how the audio is working right now, folks. Also, okay, seems to be good. It's Mini-Me. Alright, folks, it is time for more Shenmue fun. Where were we? We last left off at the docks because we found out that the Mad Angels are heavily associated with Landy, and so we need to mess around with them, and they only mess around with, you know, people who work at the harbor. So, we gotta go get ourselves a job. I work at the harbor, so I'll go look around. If I recall, you are supposed to go here because I believe this is the job center. Hello? Excuse me?
Excuse me?
What is it?
Would it be possible for me to get a job here?
Sorry, but we aren't looking for help now.
Is that so?
Oh my god, this is the part of Shenmue where it gets too real.
Do you know of any place in the harbor that is currently hiring?
I'm afraid not.
Is that so?
Alright. Don't mind me, I'm just gonna go right into here. And can I mess with this?
Song. Why not play one?
Hey, Charmy! Hopefully you're doing well. Flower Girl, Dandy Old Man, Liquor, Boznov, MGQ, and let's go Boznov. I saved a bunch of flies at work today? What? I am very confused. But that does sound interesting. Also, speaking of work, I did kind of joke about it. This is the part of Shenmue where it's too real. Mark? Is that you, Mark?
Sorry, man. I'm in a rush.
Ah, sorry, dude. Ooh. This is the part of the game where it's too real. Looking for a job. You know, to briefly sort of bring this up, folks, I've mentioned that, like, weirdly, the places I've grown up in have always been really close to water. And I find that weird. Here's where the Mad Angels hideout is. I don't even think you can interact. It's just sort of a mental note thing. Yep, that's Mark. Oh my god. Oh, hi, Mark. I'm trying to figure, how does one save flies? Is that a kitty? Yeah, that's a kitty. Can't tell if it's a long boy or a chunk. It looks more like a chunk. I hope your day is going well. Where would I need to go to bug for a job? Maybe, just maybe, let's go bug this girl.
Hisaka-san.
Will.
I'm looking for a job around here. Do you know of any place that's hiring?
I don't know any. You should just go ask around. Try some of the people that work around here.
Thanks.
What was I saying about my
around.
town? Nothing much, just the fact that I've grown up around water a lot, because I've lived in primarily two places in Washington. I'll give the name of one but not the other for very particular reasons. But let's just say one of the towns I lived in, which is Aberdeen, Washington, is a harbor town slash city. Well, a lot of fives are in the trash bin that had to get replaced. Or replaced. Ooh, Tom's here. I gotta give up.
Tom,
Hi-dio!
can I ask you something? Do you know anywhere I can get a job around here?
I can give you a job, man!
Thanks, but I want to work in a warehouse or on a ship.
Man, my buddy's ship just left the harbor recently.
Really? That
So I
sucks.
got him out. Ah,
Know any place that's hiring?
Sorry, I have no idea, man.
I see.
okay. I'll just leave you be, Rio. Hey, did you know I'm using the money from my hot dog stand to fund a feature film? I'm going to be making it in the early 2000s. Ooh, break time. But Aberdeen, Washington is a harbor town slash city. Also, technically Hoquiam, but arguably Hoquiam is just technically the eastern portion, not the eastern, very western portion of Aberdeen. But the other place I live is a port. So, yeah, that's pretty interesting. Though, most likely, I expect I won't be living here in the town I currently live in for too long. Anyway. Obviously, I want to make sure I'm very... what's the word I'm looking here for? Roundabout in explaining the places I live and how they're close to harbors and, you know, ports and all that. Because obviously, giving out any sort of indication as to where you live is a very bad idea on the internet.
Sorry, man. I'm in a rush.
Aww.
Ain't got time now. Later, man.
Dude, you're so chill. Why? Why you do this? Kinda just shake the bin so I could get out because I was scared. I would put the bag. Wouldn't have, yeah. Let me reread that. Kinda just shaked the bin so they could get out because I was scared if I put the bag in while they were there, they would have been crushed. Yeah. Where? My son was taken.
Hey, you!
Excuse me, I need to meet Master Chen.
What's your name?
Ryo Hazuki.
As far as I know, Master Chen is not expecting you. I'm afraid I can't let you in.
Ah, Smeg. Ooh, boy. So, hopefully everybody's having a good October so far. Let's see. I'll meet the Mad Angels in the harbor, so we'll go look for work. But who do I talk to? It's the matter of finding the correct person at the correct time, but I believe... we should
Excuse
meet
me.
Goro, and he should help. It's cool if you live in the harbor reports, by the way.
Huh?
Nothing. It's just I don't reckon I've seen you around before.
Right.
No,
I
you've
came
seen
over from Dobuita.
I see. It's a big harbor, isn't it? Be sure you don't go getting lost now.
Yes.
Actually, arguably, the weird thing is, this is the largest section of Shenmue, but it's very easy to remember where everything is.
Excuse me.
Yeah, it's Goro.
To get a job at the harbor, who should I talk to?
For a job, huh? We've just stopped hiring new workers. Try somewhere else, will you?
Okay.
Okay, weirdly, that is the most American-sounding guy. I'm very curious as to how Shenmue 3 will be. Because I think Shenmue 3 is due to be released soonish. I think November. You can buy him a soda at one point. Oh, groovy.
Yes?
I want to get a job at the harbor. Who should I talk to?
I think the workers could tell you something.
Okay.
Excuse me, you there, in the orange vest.
Excuse me. Do you have a minute?
Sorry. Come back later, will ya?
Okay.
I don't give you no money, I always pay. No, why don't you get a job? Yeah, Shenmue 3 is coming out real soon. Or coffee. You know, when I first played this, I never knew Ryo could drink coffee. Like there was canned coffee. You know, the workers here are so nice. None of them ever really come across as rude, which is good. But then again, I believe, what is the word I'm looking here for? I believe the polite mindset is sort of ingrained into Japanese culture, which is really good because I imagine if I am ever to visit, I'll fit right in. However, maybe I might become a bit too, like, overly polite and apologetic to the point where they're like, dude, stop. Dude, you are reaching uber Canadian levels right now of apology. But then again, the apologetic Canadian is more of a stereotype. What is this? Ooh, the Habuita cafeteria. Habuita? What the fuck's a Habuita?
Excuse
No.
me.
Yes, what is it?
Can you give me a job?
Is work at the harbor difficult?
No.
Out of work?
Yes.
I'd love to help, but I just work here, you see?
Ah. They can't provide me a job. Today was mostly uneventful, folks. But you know, even uneventful days can sometimes, you know, yield rather good benefits. I think I'm more of the person that would prefer a day to be interesting as opposed to be more uneventful, but then again, uneventful can sometimes be good. You know what? I don't think we've talked to Honey yet. Let's go talk to Honey. See how she's doing.
Honey-san,
Hi, yo.
do you know any place around here where I can get a job?
A job? Maybe there's an opening for a security guard.
Any other jobs?
You know
what's
Tom
odd?
knows about
I
the harbor much
thought
better than
Goro
I
was
do.
annoying at first,
So,
but for some
if Tom
for
doesn't
some
know,
reason, I feel
have
awful
no
for it now.
idea.
I
Yeah, you
see.
haven't talked to Honey yet. I feel bad for doing that, but you know, you shouldn't really feel too bad about like judging a character at first. It's sort of like in human nature to sort of jump the gun sometimes, especially nowadays. But you know, it happens. Like, to briefly talk about Yakuza for a moment, the character of Kuze we're always seen as this really tough, hard guy who's just stubborn and, you know, somebody to can be 100% against. And keep in mind, like, Kuze is still an antagonist, but by the end of Yakuza, you don't hate him. You more understand exactly his mindset and all that. No, yeah, I could never find a character annoying anymore. But like I was saying, over time, Kuze goes from this character that you just, simply hate to the point where you're like, you understand his mentality and you're like, dude, I get you. Okay, I kind of got lost there for a moment. I was like, where am I going? Excuse me, do you have any idea where I'm going? What about you?
I want to ask you something.
I'm in a hurry. Ask someone else, will ya?
Alright.
Excuse me.
What do you want?
I'm looking for a job in the harbor.
A job?
Kuze is the
Sorry,
Thanos kind of
kid.
character.
No
That's good.
openings now.
No!
I see. Thank you very much.
How to describe it? Because, like, Thanos, depending upon whether we're talking about 2014 or 20... Was it 17? When, Was it 17 when Infinity War came out? Because depending upon the both of them, they're vastly different. 2014, he's just wants to do stuff purely because, my name shall go down in history. But 2018 or 2017 is more, let's do this. World needs this. 2018. How did I get that wrong? Let's go for a normal soda this time. Is it? Nah. Just a normal soda. But Kuze is more...
Ooh.
I'm trying to think if I can properly sum him up.
Ah, good.
By the way, did you know you could... And I didn't know you could buy coffee the first time I played the game either. I'm trying to remember the first time I started drinking coffee. But I know who undoubtedly started getting me to drink coffee. It was my mother. Like, years ago.
Excuse me.
What do you want?
It was,
I'm looking for a job at the harbor.
A job? Sorry, but we are not accepting applications for workers now.
I see.
Excuse me. Have you seen a job? Wow, like 9... Folks, I just had the realization, like, next year it's gonna be 10 years since I've seen my mother. Like, I've kept in contact with her every so often. But, in 2010, around summertime, I know it was specifically around the release of Toy Story 3. Me and my family went down, to Aberdeen, and while we were there, I think that may have been the year she taught me how to make coffee. 10 years since you've seen your mother? Wow. Yeah. But she's been alright. From what I've heard, she's been living in Seattle and she's been doing alright. She's been taking care of my brother. Well, for the most part. Recently she kicked him out because he wouldn't get a job. Which is understandable. Also, that song I sung a little earlier, the "No, why don't you get a job?" is an Offspring song. Ooh, little doggo!
Excuse me.
What is it?
Sorry about that, dude. It's alright.
I'm sorry, but... Look, I am trying to take my break.
I guess so.
Okay. I'll just leave you to your dog. Yeah, Offspring. And the reason why I bring that up is because Crazy Taxi has an Offspring song in it. Why do I hold forward considering that all you have to really do is just press R2 and then steer Ryu? Oh my god. Ryu is like a car. was about to say Crazy Taxi. Let's see, what do we have here? Strong, Liquor, Destiny, Bosnob. I don't think I have these yet, so let's buy them.
This one.
Yeah, sure. Thank you very much. Sure, draw a raffle ticket.
Mrr.
No win.
That's too bad.
Excuse me.
Yes, what is it?
Do you know if I could get a job here?
The pay here sucks.
You don't say.
A young, strong guy like yourself can make more money at the harbor. Why not try to become an actor? You've got what it takes.
No, I'm not interested.
I just had the thought process. What if, after Ryu's whole journey, what if he returns to Japan and legit becomes an actor? The secret plot of Shenmue is that it's actually been the backstory to a well-known Japanese voice actor. Now, Ryu could honestly be a good actor. You know, let's stop for a moment, bring up the options. Can we... I think we can change the audio. Audio language. Let's hear what Ryu sounds like in Japanese.
すいません。なんだい？港で働くには誰に聞いたらいいですか？え？そうだな。港で働いてる人に聞いてみれば？わかりました。
Yo, okay, folks, next time I play this game, you know what, when I do the in-between Shenmue session, I'm going to try to play this game in Japanese. I don't know why I've only ever played this in English. Well, it's because I grew up more with the English version. Yeah, that sounds really good in Japanese. I think partially the reason why I have a habit of choosing English over Japanese is because, and this is kind of the whole sub versus dub sort of argument when it comes to anime and stuff. Like, my reasoning for wanting to watch dub over sub is so that way not a good solid 70% of my view time isn't looking down at the subtitles. You know, because I'd like to look at the characters. I like dub more than sub personally, which is understandable. I mean, Wolf has told me about, hey, get back here! Stop! Oh, I can't talk to you. I'm mad.
Excuse me.
Yes?
I'm looking for a job at the harbor.
A job? We don't have any here. We have enough people.
I see.
Like, there is downsides to dubbed versions. Like, people have said that the dubbed version of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is a little weird with the voices, but then again, like, you know, I don't mind when sometimes the voice actor's performance is a little weird. But there is also sometimes where the dub version of something will cut out something that's sort of vital to the plot. I won't say specifically, but let's just say the first episode of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure cuts out sort of a crucial detail that makes us hate Dio immediately. I feel like dub versions are underrated. They have a tendency to. I'm just sort of taken aback because whenever I think of anime, I think of a period around, I want to say, 2014 to 2016, where every Saturday I would stay up as late as possible so I could watch, the latest anime shows that were being shown on Toonami. Harbor, so I better look around. It's a very specific thing we need to do to trigger Goro. Goro is triggered. Okay. Some other stuff might happen in this stream, but I'm going to get a single shot of Goro and have the triggered thing right below him for the thumbnail. I was about to say Toonami. I remember finding it so cool as a kid. When I was really young, I never liked Toonami because I just wasn't into the style of Dragon Ball and all that stuff because I just felt it to be too weird. Keep in mind I was sort of a weird kid back then. But I'm glad I grew older and started to like, anime and all that stuff. But a couple of those shows that I watched was Soul Eater, which still is one of my favorite anime and manga series. What else? I grew up with Tom 4. What else? I did kind of, watch the first season of Sword Art Online, which wasn't too bad, but I've talked to a couple of friends and they've said, the main problem, more or less, was that it had, a great premise, but it never really went too far with it, because, well, obvious reasons. Plus that, and, well, it did really go downhill super bad around second season, because I'm not going to go into the details. I'll just be perfectly honest and say I didn't really enjoy the direction it was going. For other anime shows, Blue Exorcist, which I am going to be very blunt, folks, if you are ever to start, getting interested in the series of Blue Exorcist, read the manga. The anime is perfectly fine, but they had a very rushed ending. I think it's 26 or 25 episodes. The last, 3 or 4 episodes are, terrible, because it is so rushed. Sword Art Online, that's a series I'm sure I'd not, and I'm not sure I'd like. It's not exactly truly pacifist. There's one series, though, that I just absolutely loved, though. And that was Space Dandy, because never had I come across an anime series that was so inventive, but so funny at the same time.
What is it, youngin?
I saw an episode of Blue.
Do you know any places around here that are hiring?
Son, do I look gainfully employed to you? What I'm saying is, you're asking the wrong person. You ask over at the office, or question one of them workers. Come and see me if you're interested in becoming homeless.
I see. Thank you.
Oh, okay, folks. Okay, I am saving that because that was ingenious. Oh my god. Oh my god. My body hurts, kind of, because that was so unintentionally hilarious. Son, do I look gainfully employed to you? Oh. You reminded me of Joel there. That's exactly how he laughed. You know what? I would really love to try to be the American Joel, but then again, like, that'd probably be very hard. Wait, there is such a thing as the American Joel. That's Vinny. If I'd say there's two streamers I like aspire to try to emulate their style and maybe adapt it into my own sort of thing, would be Vinny and Joel. What was I talking about beforehand? Anime, that's what you were talking about. But in terms of, like, let's see, obviously I went through and saw the entirety of Space Dandy, which, you know, surprisingly, if you look at Space Dandy, what was the anime that you were talking about that you liked? I think the last... No, there's one anime after this. But Space Dandy I liked because Season 1 was very comedic, but something that was really good was, instead of, like, you know, keeping it just a hearty-heart comedy for Part 2, it decided to go a little deeper about stuff. You know, think about stuff and have more serious episodes, like, you know, relationships and all that. And I shit you not, the final episode to Space Dandy, I heard about that one, I think. Really? Are you ready for this? The final episode involves a massive all-out war between every faction of Space that's been in the show. And Space Dandy is just taken out of, you know, reality for a brief moment by God himself and says, dude, I think you're going to be the next God. Because, of course, somehow in this universe, there's always essentially another... There's always going to be a person who has to be God. However, I kid you not, Dandy rejects the concept of being a god, specifically because he would not be there to physically enjoy boobies and asses. No! And I kid you not, that's how the series ends. It just ends right there. Like, I think they did allude to whether or not... I think it was more like a ploy so they could just stop and say, hey, folks, like, this is the end for now. I'm not sure if they do want to come back and make a third season, but, like, I'd be 100% down for it. Are you kidding me? What? Yes. Like, even I was sitting there going, what? The reason why I think I wouldn't like Sword Online is a scene with a rabbit, and that, I can sort of guess, but my memory is very hazy. You don't need to go into the details, but I don't remember anything with the rabbit. But, the other show, that I remembered at the last moment, which I know for certain you would not like, Charmy, is Black Lagoon, which is about 4 mercenaries. Let's see. There was a Japanese businessman who got outright fed up with his job, but he was assigned to work with the mercenaries. I remember Dutch, who is the captain of the ship, Revy, who is the kind of sociopathic gun for hire, and I forgot the third guy. But we also have our main character who was named Rock, and he essentially was a businessman who just sort of got fed up with his work and said, I'll just pal around with y'all. Which, I'll be honest, the Black Lagoon anime was cool, but thing is, you could obviously tell, like, there was more to the story that never got made because it was probably around the time where the manga was still going on. So they just had to run with the basic stories that they had. You know. Which, I'm glad that some anime do that, but still it hurts to see, like, something end out of nowhere. Because the end was spontaneous, but you could clearly tell there was something more that was going to happen in the future. Needless to say, it's very violent. And the reason why, like, I say it felt like there was more to it is because the show obviously hinted at the idea of going more into the details of a character like Revi and talking about the stuff that happened with her as a kid. Let's see. What else? I think there was another thing, but no, I think that's it. Checking for lice. Lysol. Okay, it's very subtle, folks, but I always love it when your character's head follows the camera. But there's other, like, anime series I want to try because I'm very glad JoJo sort of reinvigorated my love of anime. Because anime has a very... What is the word I'm looking here for?
Eddie.
Huh?
Hey.
Hey, listen, yo.
Huh?
I bought a camera the other day, and it's really cool.
That's cool.
You only have to press the shutter, and the photo comes out. I'm taking pictures everywhere.
That sounds fun.
I'll take a picture
I'm gonna
of you
run out
and
of
Nozomi
film
someday.
No, that's okay.
It's not for you. It's for Nozomi. Okay, so don't give me any grief.
Hopefully you're doing well, Charmy.
Hey.
Like, after
What?
the
Do you
explanation
know
of
of any
that.
jobs at the harbor?
Of course not. If you want to work at the harbor, why don't you go there and ask?
You're right.
Grr.
Hey.
I'm dead.
What? Go
I'm
away.
doing well, of course.
So why are you here talking to me? Go and talk to Nozomi.
You're right.
Nozomi! Let's see... What anime... Oh! My buddy Matt recommends the show Desert Punk. And that's one I definitely want to watch. Apparently the entire series is available to watch on YouTube.
Excuse me?
Yes?
Just not a fan of the description. Understandable.
Let's see. You're that Hazuki boy.
Yes,
Yes, that's right. Nozomi
It's alright,
is
dude.
always talking about you.
I see.
Dr. Lawrence to the ICU! Dr. Lawrence to the... Never mind! Do you get it? Because intensive care unit sounds like ICU as in ICU. The music in Shenmue, like, not the stuff that you, what's the word? Not the cassette tapes, but for the most part, the music, like, just exploring around the town. It's so simple, mundane, and basic, but altogether enjoyable. I think Nozomi is in the park. Lincoln Park? Wait. You fool! That's not gonna happen until the mid-90s. Which, interesting fact, apparently they I might be wrong on this, but I think before they, became the band that we all know as Linkin Park, I think they were going around as Hybrid Theory, which is kind of funny that they named their first album Hybrid Theory. Not in the park. Let's be a good boy and go to sleep. Doobie 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 doo. Doobie 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 doo. And I thought it was an event that happened. You talked to Erie at the arcade. Kitty. I'm sorry I haven't been around, buddy. Let's give you some tuna?
Want some food? You don't have to gulp it down. Doesn't that feel good?
Yes! Shenmue is just nice. It feels so weird to have like a calmer game to play. That's not always high action and stuff I need to do in between sessions. Just something so fun about relaxing. Just chilling out, having a good time.
You're home. I was worried.
I'm fine.
So, how was it?
Looks like there's no easy way to get to Hong Kong.
Really? Oh. I'm so sorry I couldn't help more. I'm really ashamed. There must be something else I can do.
You do the best you can, man.
It's okay, Fuchs.
It's okay.
It's the thought that counts.
Ryo-san.
It always pains when, you have those people that for certain, like, what is the thing I'm trying to say here? Like, the people that you look up to and, you think personally are, quote, the best kinds of people and they think negatively about themselves. Like, I've seen a few times where Johnny, some call me Johnny, has stated that, he doesn't really like to think of himself in that high of a regard, which is understandable, but it hurts to see that. It's like, dude, you're good. You know what I haven't been doing? I haven't been training my moves. That's a bad move, folks. Johnny's a great dude. Yeah, he is. Just processing stuff and sort of thinking.
I have to be sure not to waste this.
Let's head to the Buita and go immediately back to the harbor. You know, I think I did bring this up before, folks, but, like, maybe in, like, Discord? Probably not on stream, but, like, I used to be, like, an unbelievable fan of SGB. Like, I used to watch almost every damn thing that happened right around... I wanna say... I think I started with Super Mario World 2 Yoshi's Island. But I sort of stopped at, like, 2016 when the whole... 2015, 2016, you know, the whole controversies that happened. Honestly, I think it's fine to think highly of yourself so long as you still think about others. Like, you know, I think what you're trying to describe is more like you understand, like, the skills you have and you're competent and proud enough in them, but you still try to remain humble, which is good. But to briefly talk about the whole SGB thing, there was a very specific point in time where a certain very big YouTuber made some very edgy jokes, and let's just say Matt wasn't really happy of that. Because the thing is, though, is that obviously, like, with somebody as big as the dude, like, obviously, it makes sense to be upset because he's sort of the face of the company in a way, because whenever people, like, bring it up, they're like, yo, this is the guy you go to, this is, you know, who's a representation. Not only that, but because he's associated mostly with video games, it also paints a bad picture for people who play video games as well. But, to be very blunt, folks, I don't agree with how Matt sort of, kind of, was very blind and stubborn to a lot of stuff and still continues to be. But, what really can you do? Like, he's his own man and I can't control him. I disagree with some of the stuff that Matt says, but you know what? That's sort of something we all need to really learn.
Hisaka-san.
Ryo.
What's up with SGB?
I'm looking for a job
I was
around
talking
here.
around,
Do you know
like,
of any place that's
2016, you know, the infamous
I don't know any.
situation with that
just
one
go ask
YouTuber.
Around. Try some of the people that work around here.
Thanks. I'll ask around.
And it was around a period of time where, like, Matt started to try to police himself when it came to jokes. But I bring it up, folks, because, like, I want to say I really hate the fact that I did that, because I feel me taking a break from SGB really hurt, like, the enjoyment of a lot of stuff, because I've gone back and I have seen some of the more recent stuff, and I swear, it's, like, very good. Also, hey, Joey. Hopefully you're doing well. I don't actually know what you're talking about. I need more context. In 2015 or 2016, PewDiePie decided to make a video about the site called Fiverr. The Fiverr is a site where essentially people will do whatever you want for $5. It was more of a comedic video talking about how essentially the value of $5 is so important that people will be willing to do pretty much anything to degrade themselves. So, what ends up happening is Felix decided to make an edgy joke using the guys who... I'm trying to remember exactly how to describe it. Basically, two guys dress up as, like, natives, and one of them finds a scroll, unscrolls it, and the both of them say it out loud. And essentially, it contained a very edgy joke. However, there's the other situation with Felix, or PewDiePie, which involved him saying a very particular word on stream, which, oh boy! Let's just say, yeah, he shouldn't have said that. I was alluding to it because, of course, it's a very controversial thing that gets a lot of people in uproar. Okay, I am going to look up the guide. Shenmue, looking for a job. And particularly it was around that period where, like, Matt started to become a little more cautious of his jokes. He didn't want to really offend anybody, but that's the thing. Matt's always been loud, abrasive, and offensive. And, like, that's the thing I didn't like, because he was clearly not himself. Man, angels require a job at the harbor, catch a bus from the Buitan. Warehouse number 18. Warehouse number 18. Number 18. Is this warehouse number 18? Like, to briefly say, there's a point in a Mario Party. I want to say it's the Star Road one, where I know the moment of PewDiePie's infamous heated gamer moment. Here's the thing, while he shouldn't have said that, he apologized many times. Second chances, I think, should be a thing. Like, he apologized so many times. But still, like, this is just my point of view on it. But the word still has a lot of power to it. Like, it still has a weight to it that shouldn't have been said. But, to be blunt, I don't think he said it because of racism. There's... Count Dankula described it because he talked about it. How essentially, sort of a thing that people... Is it over here? I don't think it is here. How essentially, kind of like how the world has been in society, like, for a good period of time, society was, like, squeaky clean. Like, you know, our standard image of the 50s is that everybody's like, oh, gee willikers. But, like, around that time period, like, there was people who cursed, and, like, there was a cathartic feeling of saying, you know, the forbidden words. So, yeah. I just realized I'm talking about some really deep stuff, and I'm picking my words kind of not correct here. He said sorry in the stream, apologies in the videos, and I think in another apology video. Still, the word does hold like a lot of weight. Anyway, I should probably wrap this up. Mark, my dude.
Sorry, man. I'm in a rush.
Yeah, that was weird. I didn't even know you could follow him. Like, even though he apologized, obviously, still bad that he said it. But he's obviously changed for the better, and has done his best to try to be more cautious and understanding of stuff. I don't curse. I know. But to briefly talk about it, like, where I was going with that, I made my stance. I don't believe it was really coming from a place of hatred. It was just more of a cathartic saying a very offensive word because it shocks people. Because perhaps maybe the desire for humans to really stand out and known sort of like influences our speech patterns. Like, I have a tendency of speaking rather extravagantly sometimes and using words that are very long and nonsensically exorbitant.
Excuse me? What do you want?
Sadly, people try to cancel him a lot.
Sorry,
But he's given up on that whole stuff. He's just like, I'm just gonna do what I want to do.
The market is pretty lousy now. With the strong yen depressing the market, truth is, I could get laid off at any time.
I see.
Shit!
Excuse me, do you have a minute?
I'm on patrol now. Come back later, will ya?
Okay.
Why? I just want a job. Also, very sorry about all this controversial talk, Joey. And sorry, of course, if I'm rooting your any sort of goodwill you had for me. Goodwill, friendship, not sure what you would call it, but... But my point was more that during that period of time, Matt was really not being himself. Like I said, he was more concerned about offending people, and like I said, Matt's never been the guy to really care. He just sort of does what he does, and you can take it or leave it. And it was during a drunk Mario party where he, like, quoted an offensive joke from South Park. And it's a moment that I will always remember because it was, like, a moment of clarity where, like, John... Even though John was drunk, he just snapped at Matt and said, "Don't apologize for the joke." It was more about, like, quoting it. So with PewDiePie out of the way, what did it have to do with Matt? Come on, I'm sure Joey ain't mad at you. Well, still, it's good to be cautious, because you don't really want to end up, you know, making the wrong people mad. But, like I said, Matt took a lot of it to heart and started to become a little more cautious with the jokes he made. Like, yeah.
Excuse me. I'd rather you leave me be during lunch break, okay?
Okay. Just pick away at your texture, my dude. Yeah, it is, you're right.
Excuse me,
What do you want?
I'm looking for a job in the harbor.
A job? Sorry. No openings now.
I see. Thank you very much.
Oh my lord. Meeting managers over refers to you to the forum. Okay, let's go back to the parking lot. Come on. But I think, you know, stuff has changed with SGB, and Matt's obviously less cautious about what he says now. You know, which is good because he is a little more back to his normal self. You're not a hard hat, but let me talk to you, dude.
Excuse me,
Huh? What is it?
do you know a place around here where I can get a job?
A job? As a security guard or in cargo transport?
Either one's fine.
Well, why don't you visit the offices?
The offices?
There are security offices and trading offices.
Alright, I'll try going there.
Ooh, maybe it's this guy. You've got a hard hat.
Yes. Can I help you?
Do you know any place where I can get a job around here?
A job? The only jobs available around here are as a cargo transporter or security guard.
The times
There is
were
a
changing a
supervisor
lot,
over
and
at
Matt's
warehouse
behavior
number
just
18
weren't
over
acceptable,
there.
especially if
Why
you
don't
wanted
you
to
ask
bring out
him?
more subscribers
Okay,
for SGB.
thanks.
However, 2016 was when everyone started to get offended. Yeah. Saw him at warehouse number 18. And this is warehouse number 18. I'd argue, though, still for the sake of comedy, is that people being offended by jokes have always existed. But, you know, now people are. Foreman around warehouse number 18, but we're in warehouse number 18. Where is this dude? Foreman, come out to play, yay! comedy is always going to exist, and there's always going to be people who are going to try to say, no, you shouldn't joke about that. But the truth is, comedy should be allowed to go on those very dark or off directions that people don't like. Because it really comes down to probably your process and feelings for freedom of speech, but I feel freedom of speech is really important because without it, and if people didn't, speak up, then the world wouldn't have really changed. I mean, if women didn't, fight, speak up and say, hey, we want to vote too, women would have never voted. Had African Americans never speak out in the 60s of the injustice that was still happening to them in, the whole civil rights movement, stuff wouldn't have gotten better. I mean, still, there's a lot of bad stuff, but it's definitely probably a little better than it was back then. Anyway, apologies, of course, if my talk about free speech is offending anybody in this wonderful game of Shenmue. I apologize too much, but that's just how I am. Like, I'm a guy who has a lot of, I guess you could say, offensive opinions? Not really offensive, just more blunt and honest opinions. But I obviously don't want to hurt anybody. Because, like, I get angry with folks, to the point where I might say dumb stuff. But in my heart, I don't really like the idea of anybody getting hurt over the things I say.
Huh? To get a job at the harbor, who should I talk to?
We got enough workers, Try somewhere else, will you?
Okay.
There are no jobs available. Warehouse number 12. Number 12. Number 15. Sephariev. I'm sorry, folks. Oh, wow. Oh, I better stop that. That was making me sick. One through 11, 12. Hello? Anybody here? Hello? Oh boy, you gonna sneeze? No, I don't think you're gonna. There we go. Maybe I should check out the office this time. I'm listening to the dialogue, hearing how compressed the voice clips are. That reminds me of The Great Escape on PS2. It was a PS2 game? Like, I know of the Great Escape game, but I'm more of aware of Caddy's PC adventure with it. Not in here. He said warehouse number 18, but there was no guy there. Maybe there is now. But, obviously, it's a really old Dreamcast game. Which I'm sure getting all the voices back would have been probably too hard. Because it's been a while, so maybe some of the voice actors probably passed away, which would be horrible to find out. I know Ryu's voice actor is still alive and kicking. Not really kicking, just alive and speaking. I don't remember taking this long. Maybe you just need to wait over there. There he is. You okay? Are you okay? Sir? All in all, you're just another foreman in the wall. We don't need no forklift education. He's stuck in the wall. I can't talk to him. Oh my god, I can't talk to him because he's stuck in the wall. Dude. Hey, how you doing? Hey, how you doing? Let me whisper in your ear. Tell you something that you might like to hear. Yeah, it was released from the PS2 and Xbox. That's a game I want to play again. A childhood games fest, World War II movie, so I watched so many times. I actually need to watch The Great Escape. Well, maybe we will get to January. Takes a look at calendar. It's the 13th. It's the 13th? Really? Okay, here's an idea. I've been having weird glitchy things happen. Like, when I started the game, folks, it told me my save data was corrupted. But it's not. Like, I'm still playing it. Let's try it again. He's still stuck in the wall. No, it's not save. What do we do? What do we do? What do we do? Here we go. That was a quick load. So, how's everybody doing on this fine Wednesday night, folks? I suppose the really only thing that I think can really stand out, folks, is... You know, I was in school, I'd take a look at, some uploads, you know, like recommendations, and I found out that, there we go!
Can I help you?
I want to get a job in the harbor.
A job? I'm sorry, but we have more than enough workers right now.
I see. Do you know any company accepting applications for workers?
Are you still in high school?
Yes.
Very few companies hire high school students at the harbor, you know.
Is that so?
I saw someone your age recently. He was looking for work too.
Was he a high school student?
I think so, but he looked pretty delinquent. He was around warehouse number 12.
I see.
Ah, yeah. 2 workers to see Rio on break. Hey, Jim, what's up with that guy in the brown jacket? I don't know, he's been running around the place asking and over the place, going in and out of the warehouse 24/7. He's been screaming, why won't you get out of the wall? And please give me a job. Hey boss, give me a job, please! Please! Do you like the RP? I slowly unbutton your shirt. Your belly button lint everywhere. Would you like to continue? Yes or no? Oh boy. Maybe it's not in Warehouse 12. 12? I'm 12 years old! Hi Johnny, I'm 12. I thought to get the Goro event just by running around. Goro greets you and say he can get you a job. You have to come back tomorrow at noon outside warehouse number 1. You have to kill time until then. But this is warehouse 12 right here. Perhaps maybe a little further? Goro! Come out to play! You know, folks, I really want to try Warriors. That's a Rockstar game I've always wanted to try, but never could.
Yes, what is it?
Do you know of
Forgot
any
about
places
this
in
guy.
the harbor that are hiring?
You want a job? Look, I'm a security guard, so I wouldn't know about job availability.
I see.
Fuck off, kid. Can't you see I'm guarding? Now back to fantasizing about boats. Yes, the rotors. I was about to make a joke, but then I realized it sounded so fucking wrong I shouldn't have. The port side! What's the deal with bear flying food? I mean, what is up with those things? I just got Star Wars Jedi Outcast on Switch. What? It's been pretty good so far. I've been playing the game for years. It's been quite the experience. I remember bring up the forklift from the back up here. But you can repeatedly do that. Goro! Where are you? Where are you? And I'm so sorry. Goro, 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 Goro! Goro! It's at this time period where I'm running around all over. Now I'm trying to think of like very arbitrary like JoJo's Bizarre Adventure questions like what is the most mundane use somebody could use a stand for? Like, since Star Platinum's very fast and very precise, it could lead to a lot of interesting things. So, what's the dude with the brown jacket doing? He's looking around for a guy called Goro. You mean the Mortal Kombat character? You idiot, that's not for a couple of years! And plus, how do you know about that? I've got connections in America. You heathen. Why is he a heathen? I don't know, maybe American game development would probably be a bit iffy. Considering Americans sort of fucked up the game market kind of badly. I mean, it was Americans who made E.T. Spielberg's to blame. It says you gotta be there at 12 p.m. it seems. So, next day. Oh my god! And I ran so far away. Maybe I need to talk to the foreman again and ask him about the dude. So it's story time with Joey 13-13-3. Years ago, my brother gets Jedi Outcast on PC. The game always looked so cool, but never got to play it, and now it's very clunky for me to play. Any more interesting tidbits to the story?
Maybe you should try in the city.
I see.
We are not accepting applications the rest of the year.
I see.
That shadow is really blocky. It's weird. Over time, I've become so second nature to the traffic that's just outside my window. Perhaps now I can search for Goro? Easy, just play till January. Speedrun this shit. Oh, I had a weird thought today. Like, y'all ready for the weirdest thought I've had? What if there are people who, like, competitively try to earn an education at the fastest speed possible? Like, IRL speedrunners. One day, like 5 years ago, I get the Xbox version of Jedi Outcast, get excited, but it is in my 360 and the 360 won't load the game because the game does not support backwards compatibility. Ah, shit. I bet it's a thing. I mean, we live in a world where if you can think of it, it exists. I mean, one of the rules of the internet is Rule 34, which is if it exists, there's porn of it. Which necessarily applies to everything in life. Like, if you can think of it, it probably exists. I wonder if that's even a number. Let's unofficially call that Rule 72 of life. If you can think of it, it exists. Like cereal bars and video game bars. I'm not meaning like cereal bars or video game bars in a weird sense of like food, but I'm meaning more in the sense like there's actual places you can go to, like a cereal bar, where you can go into and order yourself a bowl of cereal of almost any cereal that's on that they have. And video game bars are actually a thing in Japan, but they're at risk of getting shut down because obviously companies don't like that. Because companies are kind of backwards. Wait. You're inviting people to come into your home You're inviting people to come into your place of business and play video games? You heathen! Which was bullshit, because when you put the disc inside the 360, the home menus Star Wars Jedi Outcast. And since I don't have the original Xbox, I now own a copy of the game I can't play. Fuck! Hey, how you doing? My name's Ryu. Rio, get on the bus. There is or was a Kirby Cafe. It was really cute. I'm pretty sure the abundance of pink probably would have destroyed my eyes, but it would have been cool. I think this is the longest time we've been playing Shenmue where nothing's really happened. Let's talk to Nozomi. She's probably still working at this time. Oh, Nozomi. Oh, the weather outside is frightful, but the fire is, oh, so delightful.
Ryo,
Nozomi.
what happened?
Hmm?
Something's happened, hasn't it?
No.
A fight?
No, it's not that.
Please, you gotta stay out of trouble.
I'm fine.
Ryo, but what if something happened to you?
Don't worry.
Promise me you'll take care.
Yeah, see you later. Nozomi.
Ryo, let me know if you need any help.
Sure. Nozomi.
Ryo, take care of yourself.
Sure.
So fast forward to 2016, 2017, and I pretty much get the entire Jedi Knight series on Steam except for Dark Forces because I have that on PS3. So I get to play the Jedi Outcast for 70 minutes. Yeah, there was no animation about it of Cafe Waddle Dee owing Cafe. It was super cute. Ooh. Also, how does a Waddle Dee eat? Osmosis. Osmosis Jones. That was a weird movie. But you know what? It was actually a show I kind of liked watching on Cartoon Network. Ozzy and Drix. Sadly, one day my old laptop finally gave up and I was forced to get my current gaming desktop. I have Jedi Outcast installed and I can't even get the game to boot up now. Once Cafe doesn't eat or drink the stuff. Ozzy and Drix? Sounds familiar. Ozzy and Drix. Ozzy and Drix. You know what? I want to go to the tomato place and see if I can get myself a Sega CD game. Because I don't think we've gotten that yet. Now, stop saying Sega CD. It's Sega Saturn. But I don't have that much yen. I bet it's possible, Joey. Maybe, but still, there's probably some things going on. Oh, speaking of PC folks, an interesting little thing. On the 14th, which is I think it's going to be the 11th anniversary of Saints Row. And something's going to be announced at Volition Stream, which I'm very curious to see. Because, like, folks, what if, on the 14th, Volition actually shows us, like, footage of the new Saints Row? Like, they've been hush-hush about it, but Mr. Saints Godzilla 21, a very long and arbitrary name, I know, has stated that when he went to go visit Volition recently, he has seen footage of it, and from what he sees, it's gonna be worth it. The RP is I own the sequel to Jedi Academy. It's literally running the exact same possible engine on Jedi Outcast. It may as well be the standard expansion of the game. Runs perfectly fine. Fingers crossed. Come on.
I won.
Second place! Yosh! Yosh! Folks, we got ourselves a Sega Saturn game.
Okay, this one.
Fucking luck.
Thanks, man.
Oi. Yosh. York. Egg York. Congrats, my dude. I was hoping you would. Okay, you know what? Let me test my powers. Probably foolish to do this, but I'm gonna pick orange and I'm gonna mentally will it. Is it going to be? No, it just seems like a normal orange soda.
Ooh. Ah, good.
I don't know why the game isn't booting up. It might have something to do with the file in the computer not registered, but I try to understand computers hurts my head. Actually, sometimes maybe it might not be that hard. Like, I give a suggestion, but I'm not 100% what we'd call an expert on it. Potentially, I might be wrong on this, but maybe, just maybe, there might be something in the files for Jedi Outcast that might not be filed correctly. It might be fucking up the entirety of it. Could be something like that. I hope it works soon. Arbitrary question, folks. Food question here. What do y'all think of tortilla chips that have, like, that slight hint of lime?
Want some food? You don't have to gulp it down.
Also, I just noticed the aspect ratio changes. Huh. So I'm on 2 copies of the same game that can't even play right now. Both of my copies have been cheap, but still feels like I wasted money. Ooh, it's raining. I want you to stop and think about this. A Sega Saturn in 1987, or 86. Super hang on. What's the controls? Oh, wrong button. No. It'd be so cool if, like, Sonic R was fully playable in Shenmue or something, the Saturn version. Never seen the animation before. I'm sure you'll figure something out. I didn't mean to press that. There's just something about the way he shuts it I can't help but find funny. Welcome to Super Hang on the Stream. Ooh, that was a bad thing. Speed Demon. The need for speed. Oh! Holy shit! That's a yikes-a-rooney. I hope he does figure out a way to play the other ports too, because if it's a game he's always wanted to play, like, damn. Perhaps, maybe, Steam copy is bugged. Have you looked online, Joey? Okay, I didn't know Ford made Pinto bikes. Now fast forward to 2019, and original Nintendo Direct asked for a media announcement on that, and descends from the heavens and announced that porting Jedi Outcast to the Switch and PS4. Fucking really? I didn't even know they announced the ports. I actually kind of want to try it.
I have to be sure not to waste this.
Okay, she's obviously giving us less and less now. Xbox version. All I need the original Xbox version to play. Hoping to God that the disc isn't messed up. Too bad. PC version, I'm going to have to look online for the answer. No! Oh! I thought for a split second it picked something else, so that's why I said no. Oh, folks, forgot to give you guys a little update on something. I did mention briefly that the room I had a hole in the ceiling. Patched up. And by patched up, I mean I put duct tape over it. Lots of duct tape. Oh, and turns out my dad was doing surveying on the roof, and turns out the tree directly hit the roof of the house, like the very tip top of it. But we never even saw it. Like, we saw it hit the roof, but yeah, that was interesting. And just to let you know, folks, the tree that hit the roof was almost a year ago now. The original Xbox is really cheap nowadays, thankfully. Really? I mean, I got my Xbox from Goodwill. And one day, folks, I saw, because the Goodwill in my town has like this specific glass case section. I think all of them do. But I looked behind it one day, and I saw like an Xbox that had like all sorts of stuff. It was the system, but there was also like a whole clusterfuck of like Xbox games, and I was like, yo, I want this. So I buy it, but the bad news is that the system doesn't work. But I found another version, and I think it's the version that I currently have. Like, strangely, when I'm in the mood for it, folks, I pop the system back on and play a little bit of whatever I'm feeling, you know, good old nostalgia for. I've heard so. I've never looked. Sorry, my Savers has one like that. Savers? Savers does the exact same thing. Savers. I'm gonna guess Savers is like a thrift store. A shop where you can buy stuff that people have just said, I don't need. Really think about that, folks. Like, we have a shop in America and probably other places in the world that's dedicated to purchasing stuff that people have found they no longer need. Like, wow, man. Wow, man. I don't like it. Savers is a thrift store. Yeah. I want to visit the East Coast, just, you know, visit some of the friends I have there. Like Will, Andrew. I think maybe I could probably meet up with you, Charmy, at some point, which would be really cool. But, as for now, don't have the exact funds to do that. Around 12 p.m. So, let's just stand under here. Yeah, it would be awesome. Ooh, I know for certain, folks, something I want to do is travel to... I actually forgot. Pittsburgh. Not Pittsburgh. The state of Pennsylvania for Too Many Games one time. Anyway, folks, I will be right back. Alright, I'm back, but mic is a little peculiar. You can get Jedi Outcast on PSN and Nintendo eShop for $10. Switch version has an option for motion aiming, which is real neat. Don't know if the PS4 version has that option, but there are PS4 trophies. Gotcha. $10, that's really good. $10? Fucking hell, that's cheap. But I have $30 on my account, but I'm saving it for Norman Reedus and the Funky Fetus. And you know what, folks? I'm like legit debating if I should stream Death Stranding. I say that because like a majority of it's probably just going to be me being quiet and reacting to everything. I'm going to take a quick look on the PlayStation Store. Doobie-dee-doo-doo-doo-doo-wop. No! I think I remember this game. Wow! 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 The only thing that could be, like, even better, folks, is if, wasn't it, Star Wars Dark Forces, which was the N64 game? Assuming Kojima doesn't add blocked cutscenes, go for it. I doubt it because, even though technically Metal Gear Solid 5 was out of his hands, I don't think he'd block it. I think, to be more precise, Kojima seems to be the kind of guy that would probably promote the idea of people playing and streaming his game and sharing it. Because he has said that he wants Death Stranding to be more of a group effort thing, which might, you know, result in people, you know, taking little snippets of stuff and sort of theorizing about stuff like, what's this mean or what does that mean? I tell you folks, like, if I could, you know a game I'd love to stream? Saints Row. Like, PS4 only has Saints Row 4, which is not my favorite Saints Row. In fact, I really don't like it. Dark Forces was never released on the N64. It was a PC release game on PS1. You might be thinking, Shadows of the Empire. That's what I was thinking. Yeah, it's Shadows of the Empire. Because, like, I've played that, and yeah, a lot of people have stated that it's not as good as everybody thinks, and it does have a lot of jank, but I still love it. Like, I remember a while back, it used to be the game I would play non-stop because it's a hard game that's, like, really challenging. But, you know, I liked it. It took me the longest time to figure out how to do the Wampa Stompa cheat, because it was very specific. You gotta do it case sensitive, you gotta hold all sorts of buttons, plus you don't have the hands to really touch the analog stick, so I had to use my mouth. But when I finally got it working, I used to do the debug cheat to alter the perspective to make it look like super horror movie-esque. Which I think if you remove it, remove the fog, it turns, here we go. You pompadour bastard.
Yo, dude!
Yo, dude!
Oh, you.
Seem a bit blue, my man? Got a problem? Then I'm your man!
Yeah, right.
I know everything about this tier harbor! Whatever it is, just ask!
I want a job here. What should I do?
So wanna be a sailor, hey? That's cool, man! Personally, it ain't for me. I
I get seasick.
Enough.
Whoa, wait, hold up. I'll help you, man. I just happen to know a number of foremen in charge of cargo.
Really?
Hey, anything for you, bro?
Gotcha.
Can you ask?
Okay, meet me at noon tomorrow, in front of the big blue door of
Tomorrow.
warehouse number 1.
12 noon, warehouse number 1, in front of the big blue door.
Right on, bro. See ya.
I tried that game with a friend's house who had a copy of the N64. The jank was very real with that game. I did get the PC version, which I need to try out. I know the version actually has cutscenes. The line that always stood out to me is his line, "I knew the best spot to..." It was like a line talking about the harbor and all the locations, and one of his lines is like, "From the best spot..." I don't recall it, but we might come across it. It was the line where he essentially says all the spots he knows, and one of the best spots he knows is the best spot to take a leak. Why would you do that on a harbor when urine is acidic and can most likely cause metal to rust? So goofy, I love that. I didn't know about that till a year and a half ago. Let's see, you know what? I want to quickly do something, folks. Do I still have in my library of stuff I have watched recently? Where is it? Oh, I don't think it is. Wait. It's not that history, it's the actual history. More detailed list. No, doesn't seem to be here. Ooh, that's not good. That is not good. Give me a moment, folks. Just going to quickly get a video that I just want to put in the chat and say, like, when y'all have the free time, I recommend watching it. It's a rather interesting historical video about a man in Japan who escaped prison multiple times. Falling from the stars, drenched in my pain again, becoming who we are. As my memory rests, but never forgets what I lost, wake me up when September ends. I got a lot of attachments to Star Wars games because I always knew there was a guaranteed quality between OG Battlefront 2 and The Force Unleashed, an Episode 3 game. And then came EA. Yeah. I wouldn't recommend watching it immediately right now. You know, just put it in your history and check it out whenever you got the time, folks. Did you know Gore can help you get into warehouse number 8? Really? If you fail it, you can get in. Huh. That's the one thing I kind of like, though, about Shenmue, because this is going to be really arbitrary, folks, but, like, if you look at the trophy list in this game has you do a lot of stuff, but a lot of it is not really context to whether or not if you speak it slowly and willfully, my dude. It's not dependent upon doing everything in the game. Like, you can platinum Shenmue and still not know half the stuff that happens in this game. Destiny.
Hey man, this.
Yeah, it's a new one, not the old one, but it helps you into the new one.
Draw a ticket.
Yeah, still helps acquired. Gonna say no win for this one.
5th prize.
How dare you call me a liar? 5th prize, random toy
Here
capsule.
you go. Have a good one, man.
You know, let's
Thanks,
see.
man.
Although it always helps. Let's see. How much yen do we currently have? 1,096. We need a good solid 200. I can't buy too much more, but let's see. Bosnov, Destiny, Liquor, Dandy Old Man. Did I already buy Liquor? Yeah, I already got Liquor. Wait, do I have Dandy Old Man? Feel tired, strong. I don't have Dandy Old Man, so let's pick that up. Yeah, it's very cool. Although the way he helps you,
Hey man,
how so? Probably not the most pacifist, I would assume.
draw a ticket.
I want to try to get the first prize, but I'm going to make my bets again that this is not going to win.
No prize.
We haven't had a good Star
Well,
Wars game in a long
better
time.
luck
These
next
Battlefront games, while I've been fine, they're not as good as Battlefront 1 was bare bones and content. Battlefront 2, you know the story. Speaking of Battlefront, there was a PSP Star Wars Battlefront game, which I thought was really cool. Like, yeah, he kicks the door and gets the guard attention and starts complaining. Ah, distraction. And he gives Rio the signal. The OK hand gesture. Goro, how could you? You know that's identified as a hate symbol now. But, to briefly talk about the PSP Star Wars Battlefront game, I don't recall what it was. But it was interesting because the story spanned across 3 generations. It started with the Clone Wars, then it went into, if I recall correctly, the original trilogy. And it then went into a post-game where you played as a Jedi and you were fighting against your clone brother who became a Sith. I had Battlefront Elite Squadron on PSP. It was the closest thing we ever got to a proper Battlefront 3, and it was fun. He legitimately looks at Rio and says, Oh, wow, folks, wow. Streamer down! Streamer down! It legit hurt to do what I was trying to do. I was trying to do like a really panicked, like, yo, dude! But do it like at a soft voice, and that really hurt.
Ryo-san, spar one round with me.
Oh, certainly, my dude.
Yeah, I'm ready for you, Fukusan.
Give me all you got.
Wait, I never sparred with him? I just got the trophy. Are you ready for the legs?
Let's go.
Whoa!
That's the Fukusan I know.
Whoa, whoa! Oh!
Whoa!
How's that?
Come on. There we go. Yeah!
That's it for today. Thanks, Fuku-san.
I look forward to next time.
I tried losing to Fuko-san in the mandatory spar. It seems you can't. You were thinking of Elite Squadron 2. It's a great story. It could have even been more. Came close to consoles. Free Radical. Never went bankrupt. Now we have as fine as it is. It does make me sad, though, because, like, there's always potential for, like, such cool games. But it's often down to, like, money and stuff. And, folks, to briefly talk about Star Wars games, like, I never played the console versions of Force Unleashed. I only ever played the PSP version, which I highly recommend because it doesn't have that annoying section where you have to pull down the Star Destroyer. But, yo.
It's beautiful, but why is it here?
It's one of my favorite games on the PSP. Hey, Wolf! I just woke up. Oh, that explains it. Also, dude, I am 2 episodes away from Dio's World, and holy shit, they did Avadal dirty, my boy.
I can still use it.
Really? You okay? Avadal and Iggy. Oh, haven't gotten to Iggy yet, but I know. Also, perhaps it just might be Wolf's sleeping schedule. Potentially he's more of a night person, which I am too, which is why I stream so late. I'm fine, thanks. Hopefully you are doing well, Wolf. Let's see, we gotta wait and kill time until 12, but we don't have a lot of cash on us. Hey, Ine-san? Oh, yo, what is it? I'm gonna go play insurance fraud. What? You heard me. I'm gonna throw myself into traffic and hopefully get some cash. You know, you could just ask. Let's go pilfering around, see what we can find.
It's just a cockroach.
Teeny little cockroach. The PSP version 2 is pretty good. Never tried multiplayer. Memory, the HD version is what I call a game. What was I gonna say regarding Star Wars: The Force Unleashed? Star Wars: The Force Unleashed 2. Okay, so you know we have a sequel to arguably one of the coolest Star Wars games out there. So what do? Let's have Starkiller go around dual-wielding lightsabers. Yeah, that's so cool! But, personally, I really did not like the story. Look at that. That is a texture, folks. That is a straight-up texture. And I love it. This game has aged so much, but I love it. Let's go be a Buddha. I've been watching a lot of spooky stuff. Well, it is Halloween. Well, around Halloween. I don't think it's aged, but that's just me. Aged graphically. Plus, this was still made more
Father,
around the time where...
I'm going to Hong Kong.
What was that, Rio? I said I'm going to Hong Kong. Oh, that's nice. I'm a little worried that you're going out by yourself into a really big city. Really, Hong Kong is a fucking massive city. Like, it would take me some real convincing for me to, like, travel there, because holy shit, I am not a fan of crowds. But, like, what kind of spooky stuff? Just arbitrary YouTube videos talking about number 15. Never heard of puppet combo. Puppet combo. Sounds weird. Personally, Wolf, what's it like? So since he's talking about spooky stuff. Oh, arbitrarily, folks, since it's around the month of Halloween, why don't I talk a little bit about spooky stuff? You know, that can kill the time as I walk around town. So, I'm always fascinated with psychology based around, you know, why people do things and why they're scared. Force Unleashed 2 was a disappointment. Bland story, you can clear it in an afternoon short. Fewer bosses, and the enemies were imperialized, so lack of variety, overall uninspired. Personally, I think it missed something. Something there. Because, like, one was like, I'm working for Vader. Haha! You shouldn't have an apprentice, so yeet the bitch. Yeet! Now you're gonna do these secret things for me. Cool. But now I don't like you, so I'm gonna do my own thing. Cool, bitch. Let's fight. Let's see, spooky stuff. I was back to the concept of how I'm interested in psychology of why people do things or why people considerably react to things the way they do. Like, horror films. Like, a lot of modern day horror films are often really focused around supernatural sort of things, so yeah. But there's specific tropes in horror that I've, like, never figured out. Like, the thing I've never liked is when a horror movie focuses on a cult or a religious zealot. Because I personally felt like horror based around any form of religion, whether it be a cult or, you know, a zealot kind of person who's essentially being a dick, it's more dependent upon if a person, the viewer themselves, has a prior fear of religion. Which, in reality, I just feel is like, what is the word? An irrational fear. Like the fear of real estate agents. Not as in a who, but a solo developer who makes games inspired by Resident Evil and Silent Hill games, the 70s slasher film style. 70s slasher films? Wouldn't it be more 80s? Because 80s was like the boom for slasher films. But I found myself, like, particularly, I'm more scared of, like, supernatural stuff, like hauntings specifically. He has a YouTube channel. Let me head back there. Puppet combo. Huh. I might have to check that out. But I know what games you're talking about. Check it out sometime. Hell yeah. Like, to describe it, folks, let's see. To use two instances of creepypastas. Like, I recall there was a photo creepypasta about some sort of expedition out in the middle of some Aztec jungle coming across a pit of blood. Basically, it's solely cult related and it's sort of definitely scary. But it doesn't really impact me. But another story involving a very specific Sega mascot, you all know what I'm referring to, scared the absolute shit out of me as a kid. Well, more specifically in 2013, was it? It's October now, so games we should prioritize is Dead Rising, The Last of Us Remastered, and Medieval Remake when it comes out. Play the demo if you want Dan's helmet. 'Tis the season to be spooky. Stab, 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 stab.
Fuku-san, Ryo-san, If there's something bugging you, come to the dojo.
What
We'll
are you
spar
looking
for a
at,
while.
dude?
Yeah.
Ryo. I know skinny jeans are in season, but Christ! Are you carrying 2 hams in your back pocket? Yeah, that scared me too. Yeah, no wolf, but just not particularly a fan of horror, especially because horror films are very non-pacifist, because it's a killer killing people, and the people have to defend. Nope. So Ryo, what are you going to do? Let's see, let's take a look at what we have. I'm very serious about that demo. If it's going to get pulled on the PSN, it's going to get pulled on the PSN on the 6th, and you need to play it to unlock Dan's helmet in the full game. I've played it, but the way my PS4 is that I won't be able to actually unlock it because I clicked it, I found the helmet, and immediately it sent me to something that was probably going to confirm it. Was there one that made you uncomfortable? Like creepypasta? I'd suppose it's like anything supernatural based. Most things supernatural based, because I don't know, it's like a concept I'm very unfamiliar with because I sort of do have a belief. What the hell was that noise? Oh, he's just... Dude, it's raining. Don't grab the broom. Was it Buzzsaw Bloodhouse? What? And the babysitter one. Oh, Charmy was checking out the channel. Huh. Let's go sneaking into Fuxan's room. Oh, Fuxan, I'm going in and I'm going to loot your drawers. Yeah, pick up the helmet, pick up the PSN store, select download to confirm that you purchased it. Should be good. My system can't do that shit because it can't access the PlayStation Store. Yeah, I know it seems really weird, folks, but, like, my system legit can't open up the PSN store. Like, I can do it if I go through roundabout methods, like if I go on the web browser version of it. No, I've seen the game a long time ago. PewDiePie played him. Oh, here's a fun fact, folks. I actually planned on doing a Let's Play of Outlast back when I still had Share Factory. And let's just say I really could not get into the game. Like, I just did not like how every 5 seconds it was some sort of flashback that flashbanged you because the game was pitch black, so you could barely see anything. And how it just really slowed the pace of the game. I just didn't like it. Outlast ending is just not fair. Was it Outlast? I don't think it was Outlast. It was, no, did I say Outlast? God, I'm stupid. It is Amnesia. You have an odd PS4, Chester. It is old, and I need to get a new one. Never have I ever had a system that just outright refuses to go on PSN and outright refuses to fully download something. Because it can't download Share Factory anymore. I can't wait until I actually do have myself a job so I could get myself a much better system.
Think I'll warm up a bit.
No, I just want to look around. And kill time. 8 principles of yin and yang. The whistleblower ending was better. You know, I remember Whistleblower purely because I think a lot of people talked about, because weirdly enough, like, there was a period in time around the 2010s where, like, games were getting more high graphics, so developers were sort of pushing themselves to be a little more graphically intense, if you get my meaning, and I think, like, sort of the push for more graphic details about specific things have sort of definitely been interesting. Like this weird fascination with high-res detailed games. So what, of course, are we going to do? We're going to make penises. How far he goes through... But it's not fair. He goes through all that, but he knows too much? You said you got your PS4 in 2015 because of MGS. I got it in 2013 as a Christmas gift, and it still works well. Jesus, dude. Then again, like, I've probably done a lot of dumb stuff with my console. A lot of people die because they either know too much or they seen too much. It's unfortunate. Actually, the sad truth is that shit exists. It's mainly the concept of controlling information. Because information is a very, very powerful thing. I don't think that's actually happened. There's probably a few cases out there. I think that's only a movie and games. True, but, you know, we can never say never. I mean, I think I have heard of a few examples of that. Like the whole, you know too much, so we must cull you. Yeah.
Doesn't that feel good?
No, I'm out in the cold. Excuse me.
There.
Well, I hope
Good
not. That'd be
kitty.
cruel and unfortunate thing. We live in a world where information is power. It isn't just a world of games and movies. That's why you need to stay far away from the dark web. Oh, I know. Please, for the love of God, folks, stay away from that side of the internet, folks. Because holy shit, you will not... It is bad. It is bad. Heed my warning. Wasn't planning on it anyway, Joey. Thank you. The idea is fucking terrifying. Because the deep web can allow you access to a whole bunch of shit that the normal internet doesn't really gain you access to, but seriously, there's a reason why you don't go on there, because there's sites for sick fucks, and there are people who can fucking hack your system and trace your ISP and find out where you live and kidnap you and kill you. For the love of God, don't do that shit, folks. The idea is fucking terrifying. I'm very sorry for speaking up and getting really loud, folks, but it's just the idea that we live in that sort of world now where that kind of information yields so much power, and that there are people who legit use such power of hacking capabilities for malicious things. That's actually kind of really scary. Anyway, sorry for yelling, folks. What was I gonna do? Well, you wanted to go over down to the shop. I do apologize, folks, but, like, legit, it is a fear of mine of, like, shit like that happening.
$100 yen each.
much yen do we have?
I'll pass.
Nope, not enough. Anyway, sorry for talking about serious stuff, folks. Hopefully, y'all are doing okay. Also, it's funny you mentioned Witness Protection Program, Wolf, but, in GTA, Michael's undergoing the, Witness Protection. I think this should be around the time where Rio can actually sleep. But I don't think our military would actually shoot someone for knowing too much of a thing. Usually, sometimes it's not the military. Sometimes it's government agents. Because some government agents are actually trained. Think about it. If we had a neuralizer, we would definitely be using that stuff already, folks. I am so sorry that most of the stream has just been killing time. It's called assassination for a reason. That can't be a thing. Yeah. Yeah, it is. Why did it send it twice? Why did it send it twice? What's happening? Spooky. Why is it sending it twice? I don't know. Wait, that's not what I needed. You don't much be glitching out, sorry. It probably is. That's not what I need. I want to play Super Hang-On. Super Hang-On, Super Hang-On, Super Hang-On. Huh. Anyway. At this rate, the country is going to, I'd imagine, something like that happening. Ed Snowden exposed the NSA tracking literally everyone in the country. That alone can keep you up at night. I mean, somewhat, but still, like, there's a legit reason as to why they do it. Because for the most part, it's primarily to keep track of domestic terrorists. But still, there's a downside because it's prying into people's private information. And there's a reason why people keep things private, because it's a matter they just want to keep to themselves. I mean, I've alluded to it before, folks, but I do have a tendency of looking up kind of dirty stuff, but do I want to blurt it out and let everybody know the kinky shit I fucking look at? No! Anyway, sorry for talking about deep stuff again. Let's try to get back into levity. Okay, that time it didn't do it. What is going on with these motorcycles? Going at a good enough speed, but could be better. Didn't know about that. On lighter topics, I got Judgment today. Dude, nice! I have a feeling you're gonna be playing it subtitled, but there is some cool things for the dub. don't remember his full name. I believe it's Sungwon Cho. I might be wrong on that. I really hope I'm not saying his last name wrong. But otherwise known as ProZD, actually does a voice for the dub. Castlevania? No. Judgment's a spin-off of Yakuza. I already have that. Castlevania, Judgment of Sorrow. Oh, fun fact. What is it? I think, was it Castlevania Lords of Shadow 1? I believe Hideo Kojima does the voice of a goblin. Judgment's really cool from what I've seen. The only thing that sucks, though, is that it doesn't have karaoke. And no joke, the guy they got to play Yagami is a singer. Like, the Japanese actor. I think the English actor does make music. No, Chupacabra. Ah, damn it. Got that detail wrong. Alright, time to go. Time to go down and get myself a job.
I have to be sure not to waste this.
Motherfuckers. That's what the enemy's called. Even though it doesn't look like a Chupacabra. That's another game I need to finish. Castlevania Lords of Shadow, the original Kojima Productions worked on that game. Not sure if they were primary developers. I believe it was more external help from what I've heard. But I have heard Santa!
Excuse me.
Merry Christmas! Ho, ho, ho! Oh, hello there. Don't miss the special Santa lunch box set at Hoku Hoku Lunches. It's only available during the Christmas holiday. What do you say?
Some other time.
Then fuck off, kid. Santa's got rackets to run. Even though it doesn't look like a Chupacabra. What was it? I believe Kojima Productions did help in the development of Lords of Shadow, but they were a little... They couldn't really do too much. But, from what I've heard during the production, Kojima-san was very nice. What's Santa doing here? Can you give me Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 this year? No. I don't know he could appear on other days. Yeah, he appears around when it gets closer to Christmas. Bald! 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 My eyes!
Excuse me. I got some stupid business to take care of. If you want to have a chat, do it with someone else, will you?
Alright. You're bald. Ah, yeah. That's an interesting thing that, from what I've heard, Kojima's a very nice guy, like, when it comes to development and stuff. He tries his best to be a good boss. Christ, I have way too many games on my bucket list. Bucket list? Dude, you're probably the same age as me. And I'm at school, I need to get my priorities straight. Don't worry. I mean, surely in life, your life's gonna be long. That's great to hear, E. Yeah. If, we talked about, paranoia, we talked about, things we look up to, things we watch and all that stuff. Time for a bit of arbitrary positivity, folks. I'm going to be very blunt when I say this here, folks. Never underestimate your skill capability, because if there's one thing you all should remember, Hideo Kojima, when he started working at Konami, had no fucking clue about how video games worked. So much so that other employees would mock him for his conception of how games worked. And keep in mind, this dude later went to make a series so well done that to this day it is still considered to be one of the greatest stories ever told in video games. He is arguably one of the biggest names of video games as a whole. And he knew nothing. And why? Because he adapted. He learned. He paid attention. And he knew that he could improve. Never doubt yourself, folks. When you put your mind to it, you can achieve something and become fantastic at it. Fantastic. This is getting irritating. Not the waiting, folks, but like to take a little bit of a break and read something while we are waiting. I really don't like this trend amongst people who play the game Bully, and it's like, I prefer Bully over GTA. Because GTA is just a plebeian game. That actually really hurt. Kojima is a nice guy, but he's got a strong bias for when it comes to getting voices for his games. He did not treat Hater that well after MGS2. Sorry about that stuff like that. Really, Joe, I didn't know that. Did it ever explain why they never got along? I don't think they did. However, though, like, I think Kojima has probably recently tried to patch stuff up. Potentially, I don't know. I think the reasoning is that Hideo Kojima really wanted to actually have celebrities do the voices because he is a really big movie fan, which is admirable, but still there's a downside because with celebrities you do have a tendency of dating the game. And Hideo Kojima wanted Kurt Russell to be Snake for Snake Eater. After MGS2, he wanted to replace David Hayter and Kurt Russell, and every single MGS game, David Hayter had a re-edition each time. Yeah, I mean, it sucks. I mean, there's a very infamous thing where David Hayter did say that he had no real love lost for Kojima leaving Konami. But I'd like to think that hopefully Kojima has tried to patch things up so that it's not exactly like that. I always thought David Hayter was the perfect role. He was. But still, I don't know. Like I said, I just sort of hope that Kojima, in the years like he's been gone from Konami, has tried to patch things up with David Hayter. I don't know, but let's just leave it at that. Hey Chester, do you like repeating things? Yes I do. Yes I do. Yes I do. Oh my god. We have all this caramel. What else can we look at? Heapity hop. Heapity hop. Heebity jeebity heebities. He made a rule that every day must go to church. What? Like a feeling, art is long, art is long, life is short. I want to live, quote, a happy life. But Kojima wanted celebrities in his game. He got Kiefer Sutherland, an experienced actor. He didn't speak that much in the game. Kiefer Sutherland was like a point of contention for a lot of people, but I'm going to say I don't mind Kiefer Sutherland in MGS5. Snuff, liquor, stereo. Kirby Cancock, JJ Jackson, Donald Lee. Actually hurt my neck. The building collapsed with a terrific crash. What the fuck? Presents. I don't mind him either. I thought he was pretty good. You're pretty good. I'm glad Christopher stayed, though. I think Christopher stayed because, like, he was too iconic. Goro!
Yo, bro! I've got you a job, man!
Really?
Why
Thanks.
don't you get a job?
But you know, I had to go through quite a lot of hassle for you, though, bro!
What'd you say? That'd be the job I found.
Shut your lip, woman!
Hello, Mom.
I love
Hi,
these two.
Adele.
Hey!
Yeah, Otacon's
You
voice
two
is one
know
you
each
can't
other.
forget.
Airhead here asked me
I
to
don't think
find
Kiefer
it for
Sutherland
you.
was a bad voice
I'm
for
always
Big
delivering
Boss.
lunch to Harbor
He
Dorm,
does serve
so
as
I
a bridge
asked the
between
foreman
David
I know
Hayter's
for you.
Big Boss and Richard Doyle's
Buddy
Big
who
Boss
needs
in
lies
MGS4.
like, oh, pretty please, Mr. Foreman, huh?
Yo!
So, where should I go?
Folks,
See you at the Alpha Trading
I want to
office
tell
by
y'all
2
a
p.m.
fun fact about
Just ask for
MGS4. Just give me a
Yada-san.
moment.
You have an appointment.
2 p.m. Yada-san, Alpha Trading Office. Thanks a lot.
See ya.
More waiting. Like, fun fact, if you guys didn't know this, the Japanese voice actor of Snake, from my knowledge, was very estranged from his own father.
Excuse me,
Ah!
What do you want?
are you Yada-san?
Yeah, that's me.
Mai-san at the lunch stand mentioned me.
Oh, yes. Mai from the lunch stand. Yes, she did. Can you start right away?
Yes.
Yay, we'll be working now!
You, ever drive a forklift?
No, sir.
Well... break something, it'll be deducted.
Yes.
Hey, Mark! Come here a sec!
Here's our dude, Mark.
Okay, boss.
Just so happy with this guy because he's so friendly.
Okay, Mark will take it from here.
I knew about the Japanese
see.
voice actor from Big
Mark,
Boss MGS4 was the
show
father
him
of
how to
Solid
drive the
Snake's
forklift.
Japanese voice actor.
Okay,
They got
boss.
them back together. It's
Hello,
so
I'm
wholesome.
Hazuki.
Hey, man. I'm Mark. I'm sure we'll get along just fine.
I have heard that
It's easy.
Kojima
You'll
himself
get the hang of
did
it real
suffer
quick.
from some sort of parental
Oh,
things with his
okay.
own father. I
All aboard?
believe his father passed away when he was at an early age. Now loading. Alright,
Okay,
Mark's gonna
you
give us the
ready?
basics.
Let's start your lesson. First, turn the wheel either left or right. Good, that's it. Next, press the accelerator. Press the accelerator harder. Okay, good. Now back up. Different from accelerating. Yeah, that's it. Finally try raising and lowering the lift. Okay, not too bad. Now, you try moving that crate. Take that crate to warehouse number 3. Just there. First slide the fork under the crate. Then lift the crate and go.
No, I didn't know that about Hideo. Yeah.
Easy, ain't it? Okay, now it's your turn. Place the crate within the grid marking the floor of the warehouse. Okay, for the rest of the day, you'll be training, alright? Take the rest of the crates to warehouse number 3.
Okay,
I gotta get back to work, so finish the rest yourself.
no problem.
May his father rest in peace. I hopefully got that info correct. I'm glad he could get another family together. Let's see, how do we change the camera view? Lot of focus. Also, I believe, if I got this right, the father of Snake's Japanese voice actor is the voice of Dr. Eggman, which makes Snake versus Sonic Easter egg in Smash Bros. All the more funnier. Really? Oh, okay, I don't know the Easter egg. Would you mind explaining it, dear friend? Get a load of this! You know what they say, the more the merrier.
They'll get mad if I leave these outside.
Yeah, if you down taunt, Shenmue's this brawl, Sonic is another character, Snake goes into the codec. Oh, that was a really dumb move. Welcome to Forklift Speedruns. And have y'all ever catch any of Josh, otherwise known as Winning Cans, streams? He's a really cool guy. I really feel ashamed that I choose not to watch some of the streams because it's usually a matter of time. Josh is cool, yeah. Arcana is aesthetic to see Sonic, but Snake just doesn't like him for some reason, doesn't know why. Huh. I managed to catch one of Josh's streams when he was streaming Shenmue. I hate this about myself. I love to tell everybody, who the time where I came across Shenmue for $3 at a thrift shop. And it's still my favorite, best gaming find ever. Damn!
Finished for the day.
Oh, good work.
Thank you.
You're getting
$3?
used
That's
to the
amazing.
forklift.
I think it was around $5 or $3.
About your wage. You start at 300 yen per crate. There's a quota every day, so don't go slacking off.
Yes, sir.
If you exceed the quota, you get a raise.
If you do good enough and meet quota, I'll give you a raise.
I understand.
In Smash Bros. Bro, Smash
Well,
Ultimate
good luck.
Thank you very much.
Oh, speaking of MGS1, this has always bugged me, because ever since, Metal Gear Solid 2, they've changed it.
Mark, I need you to come tomorrow at 9 a.m., okay?
Yeah, sure.
There's something we gotta do before work.
Yeah, we'll do one more day, folks,
Before
and then
work,
we'll call it
really?
a stream.
Yeah, man. You'll see when you get here. Oh, and don't be late.
Okay.
But, the thing that kind of bugs me is that from Metal Gear Solid 2 on, they changed Mei-Ling's voice actor. And the fact that I'm not sure if it was exactly the voice actor, but she doesn't have an accent. That bugs me. But, oh well, I can't really dwell on it. I'm glad she went from, just the simple communications officer to being wasn't it,
I've got plenty of time to ask around.
commander of a Navy fleet? I never got why they changed her voice. She does have the accent anymore. She doesn't have the accent anymore. Oh, Christ, now I have to walk around. Goro!
Goro,
What's grooving, bro?
I just still like her
you
voice,
know about
though.
the Mad Angels?
Oh yeah, working hard, eh, bro?
Why are you shouting?
Don't you know, bro? You don't say that name so loud.
Why not?
Just because.
You know about the Mad Angels?
Hey! Oh, bro, didn't I ask you not to say that so loud? That kind of talk is taboo around here.
Why?
His voice actress never changed.
To say.
It was always Jennifer
I
Hale.
don't know what you're trying to find out about.
I thought she voiced Boss.
But I wouldn't be
Jennifer
as
Hale voiced Boss.
indiscreet as you're being if I was you.
Oh, about the Mad Angels?
I done told you, bro. Don't say that so loud. Extreme bad news, that gang.
Really? See you around.
You bet, bro.
About the Mad Angels. Motherfucker! I really got a sense of tuna on that F there, folks. I don't know why. Maybe it's because you're having a very hankering for tuna right now and you would love to make yourself a tuna melt. Yeah, but I don't have the time. Naomi doesn't have the same accent anymore, though. No, Naomi doesn't have an accent. Well, it's slightly British, but... she definitely does sound different, comparatively. Ah, where in the smeg was I going? Ah, the Mad Angels place.
Excuse me. Do you have a minute?
I'm really new here, so I don't quite know my way around. Try asking somewhere
Oh, I
else,
thought the
will you?
accent MGS
Gotcha.
one.
Thanks.
Unfortunately, this is not the time. I'm not here to entertain you. I just started thinking of Ape Escape for some reason.
Yes?
Do you know anything about the Mad Angels?
Also, Laurie
The
Allen was
Mad
the voice
Angels?
of the boss.
I don't know shit about them. Don't drag me into stuff like that.
I see.
Oh yeah, that's another thing. Shenmue characters use the word shit. Like, it's weird, but either way. From what it sounds like, the adventuring and free roam music, it doesn't really change. Perhaps maybe the old man might know. So about the Mad Angels, dude, you don't talk about them. What are you doing? Oh, maybe Mark might know. Oh, hi, Mark.
I'm out of here, Mark.
Hey, good work. I'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah.
See you later, bro. Also, your voice sounded weirdly high. Ooh, poor Mark. He's been through a lot. Yeah, knowing the plot, I recall something bad happening to a family member of his. And the fact that the Mad Angels beat the ever-loving fuck out of him for no reason.
Maybe I should ask around about the Mad Angels.
Right, I forgot about the old man. I thought of something, folks, about Metal Gear Solid 3, but the thing is, I kind of don't want to say it because, well, borderline, I don't think Charmy's going to like what it is. It involves the end. And something I accidentally did. Mark was still looking for them. Oh, that's it. Lost a family member and he's looking for them. So, and please forgive me for this, Charmy, but when I was playing MGS3 for the first time on the 3DS, when I got to the boss fight with the end, somehow I took out the end's parrot and I ate it. What did you do to the boss? To the end. To the end, I ate the end's parrot. Interestingly, the parrot comes back in ghost form. I'm sorry, dude. Why? Because I'm a fool. Just figured I'd share a little weird tidbit like that.
Ah, good.
I couldn't hurt a single animal in that game. I mean, if you know what you're doing, you don't really need to hunt down animals. You can mostly just grab stuff and snacks from... the armor encampments. Cars!
100 yen each, huh?
I'd feel like a monster.
I should buy one.
I've done many vegan runs. Wouldn't it really be vegan, but rather... what's the word I'm looking here for?
Oh.
You ate the parrot.
I should try again.
Yeah, I did that too, if I'm gonna be perfectly honest. I was just curious to see how much stamina I would get, and it gave me jack shit. It's like the Tsukinocho. Tsukinoko? You know, the legendary Japanese snake. I never did that,
again?
never even thought of doing that. Damn ball. 2 balls.
Maybe I should
Isn't that
get
a little
another.
perverted?
This is cool.
Beep beep. Yeah, I'm getting divorced. No, you don't, you bitch.
Maybe I should get another.
I never did that. Never even thought. Oh wait, you already read that, you dolt. It's actually beneficial to keep the parrot alive in the game-wise because you can catch it and release it and it'll fly back to the end,
What?
help you track
This
it
again?
down. Weirdly enough, like, I've always found it kind of easy to track
again.
the end down using the heat vision goggles. Yeah, he can regulate his body heat in the later, but then again, I'm only speaking from an easy playthrough. But I was able to track him down quite easily.
Hey, what's this?
Still.
I should try again.
I prefer to, like, drain the end stamina, because when you do it, you get
I know this.
a pink car. Coupe.
I should try again.
One more. But, tranquilizing the end doesn't grant you his... does not grant you, his camo.
It's the
Instead,
same
holding
one.
him up does it. I kind of cheat with the fight, inputting the variation of the Konami code in the map screen to get his exact location. That's good. You know, the only thing I'm against is the whole time skip.
Maybe I should get another.
Every time I play MGS3, it's always a non-lethal vegan run.
I'll pass.
Though I don't think the word vegan is the correct word, because I think there is some stuff Snake can have. Like, Snake can... technically, he can eat stuff from a beehive. There's a beehive where the alligators are, or other places. You can shoot them down, which obviously will upset the bees, but they don't die.
Maybe I should ask around about the mad angels.
I don't want to ask, I want to leave. You can eat stuff from a beehive? Yes. Honeycomb. I didn't even know that. Wouldn't want to do that, though. I mean, yes, it's obviously getting rid of a bee's home, but bees are efficient little dudes. They can make homes anywhere. Hell, our house is sometimes... One of my old rooms used the, where my old room is located. There was, what's the word I'm looking here for? The roof and how it's laid out, there was a little bit of an underling, so that...
I told you to stay out of here, old man!
I'm gonna run you over!
Help! Somebody!
I'll take him there home.
Cut it out.
Who the
What
hell
is
are
this
you?
music? It's so groovy.
Quit terrorizing him.
Look at him! Talks like a goody-goody little shit.
All right, then. We'll just play you.
What?
How about you race us?
Motorcycle?
A chicken race! You do know what that is, right?
Yes.
Okay, I'll play your little game. But if I win, you leave him alone.
I don't think I ever had the chicken race.
Start when this can hits the ground. Here we go.
Take that! Give up yet?
Hey, you! Whoa! Lucky son of a...
You jerk! You made it! Seems to be your lucky day. We'll let you off this time.
Don't mess with him again.
You'd best watch your mouth, boy. This is our territory.
And watch your back, too.
Sorry, I just got to thinking about bees, and then I started thinking of bee farms, and then I remembered one of my favorite jokes of the Bee Movie is how the bees are brainwashed into thinking that they're actually still working for a queen, but it's a male bee dressed in drag. That's not a queen, that's a guy in a dress. That's a drag queen. It's such a simple joke, but you can't help but chuckle. Oh, we should check out on the old guy and see, of course, how he is. I watched the Bee Movie so many times. The downside is that some people might come to this, find this later, and might think that, oh, you watch Bee Movie because of the memes. No, I watched it because I actually enjoyed it. Loved it as a kid. Loved it as a kid. What the hell's going on with my English? You see, there's the thing, Chester. You've been playing, Japanese games for so long, you're starting to fail English. Soon, of course, you'll pick up Japanese and it'll become your natural language. And then I'll start streaming in Japanese. Let's see. You don't know any phrases, dude. I mean, you couldn't make the joke work because you don't know a phrase in Japanese, so you can't just speak Japanese off the fly right now. I think I'd still love it, except for the scene where the girl slaps the bug, You know what's weird? I think the model for that bug was the character Chris Rock plays. No, the bus. Okay, it's around 11, folks, so when we get over to the house, I'm gonna save. Because, I would like to go longer, folks, but it is a little late. I want to relax before I need to go to sleep because I have got school in the morning. I understand, E. I want to thank y'all for tuning in every time, folks. It really does mean a lot, even if you stay for a short, brief moment. To let y'all know, I'm still debating on what game I'm going to choose for the in-between session. Enjoy your rest and enjoy your school, alright? Oh, I always do my best to enjoy school. The only downside is I have a teacher who really wants me to find a job, but I need to finish school. I stayed up for you, to be honest. Love your streams. I do my best to hopefully entertain and try my best to be funny. But I'm still, like, to let y'all know, the in-between Shenmue game is still being sort of debated by me. I'm partially thinking of doing a Last of Us second run, but still, I think maybe that probably wouldn't be the best idea. Because I did it a while back. Like, earlier this year. Honestly, you're easily one of my favorite streamers. Aw, dude. Thank you. Probably helps that you're such a good friend. I do my best to be a good friend. I mean, I could be more active on Discord, but still. Like, I do the best I can, and I try to calm people as much. Plus, I am kind of aware of the little argument I accidentally caused with the video I started up. On the video game, which was the little short snippet of the trailer where we see Ellie from a little girl and it slowly advances to how she is in The Last of Us Part 2, and my comment was sort of referring to how you can really tell the tone they're going to go for. But, you know, most things are sort of unintentional. Anyway, folks. I am Iron Man. I am Iron Man. Argument broke up because of the tone of The Last of Us Part 2? Well, I sort of mentioned how in the... What is it? What is the name of it, damn it? Give me a moment, folks. I'll quickly explain it. The Last of Us Remastered from the beginning. It's just a snort snippet where it's mostly just looking at Ellie's younger model, but as the camera slowly shifts, we see her model of The Last of Us Part 2. And you can tell because when you see her younger model, there's a slight... It wasn't your fault, if anything, it was mine. Well, still, I sort of brought it up, and it got you talking. So, unintentionally, it's kind of my fault. But, it's a shot of Ellie at her age in Last of Us Part 1, which you can see all sorts of warmth to her because it's, I suppose, to be in the sun, and then when it moves to her, to her Part 2 look, the color fades away and she looks very pale and she has blood all over her. Which, you know, indicates that she's going on a very cold revenge hunt. So, that's how it sort of went out. Anyway, folks. Sort of rambling on too much, folks, but it is 11:08 p.m., which most likely means it is almost like 3 a.m. for y'all over in the East Coast. I know both Joey and you, Charmy, are in the East Coast, so I am going to end the stream right here, folks. Shenmue will return next week, maybe with an announcement for whatever the in-between game shall be. But next stream will be on Saturday. It will be some more Yakuza 0 fun, and we're just gonna, you know, do the best we can to get closer to the end of the game because there's not much left. It's 2 a.m. for me. Alright. Anyway, folks, that will happen at the regular time, which is 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Those who live in the East Coast of America, that's around 11 p.m. Those who live in the UK, that's around 4 a.m. And those who live in Brazil, that is around midnight. I want to repeat myself and give a special thanks to Charmy, Joey, and Wolf for tuning in and hanging out in the chat, talking and keeping me company. Y'all help, and thank you very much. Alright, stay safe, everyone. See you next time. Bye! Bye, have a beautiful time.